Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck, and today I'm going to break out my brand new Instant Pot Duo Crisp and really take advantage of it. Guys, I'm going to create a recipe in this specific Instant Pot that I wouldn't dare try in an original Instant Pot. One that could really require a really crispy edge to it at the very end. And this dish, guys, is a classic side. It's something that is absolutely fantastic. And not only that, it's going to be great for breakfast too. I'm talking scalloped potatoes. But don't worry, if you've never heard of these before and if you hate seafood, there's no seafood or scallops or anything like that in this dish. It's simply because we slice the potatoes into little discs and we call them scalloped. It also reminds me of Dorothy Zbornak's wedding dress in that final episode of The Golden Girls with the things on it. I mean, the dress is so iconic looking, and every time I look at it, I really want scalloped potatoes, and that's probably what inspired me to make this in there, to be honest. I was watching that episode last night, but as Sophia would say, I digress. Guys, we're gonna make the most amazing, delicious, and simple scalloped potatoes in the Instant Pot Duo Crisp, or you can really do this in any pressure cooking device where you can finish it off with a crisp. You can even transfer it to an oven, but it's so much easier to do directly in one pot with no transferring at all. As a New Yorker, I hate having to transfer trains when I take the subway, and thanks to the Instant Pot Duo Crisp, we don't have to do that anymore. So guys, let's get going and get our Dorothy Zbornak wedding dresses on, because we're gonna be making the most amazing scalloped potatoes in the Instant Pot Duo Crisp you've ever had. Let's go. Now let's start with 2.5 pounds, or about roughly 4 Idaho or russet potatoes, and I'm gonna peel them and I wanna slice them into really thin discs. So they look just like this. Discs about 1/8 of an inch thin, okay? We don't really want it to be any thicker than that. They look like potato chips almost, nice thick potato chips, well, not fried yet. And that's really all the prep work this dish requires, guys. Let's move on. Now I wanna go to my Instant Pot Duo Crisp, and I wanna add in 1/2 cup of garlic broth, or vegetable broth, or chicken broth, whatever you want. Using garlic or vegetable broth is going to keep it vegetarian, and I'm using 1/2 teaspoon of garlic butter than bouillon with 1/2 cup of water. And then I'm just gonna take my potatoes and then just kind of layer them inside the pot. Okay, perfect. Now I want to add in 4 tablespoons or 1/2 stick of butter that I've cut into pats, and just kind of intersperse the pats throughout the potatoes. You can add some butter under the potatoes, which I suggest, just like that. Now we're ready to pressure cook. I'm going to secure my lid. It's already going to be in sealing position automatically with the Duo Crisp. Now I'm going to come down on my control panel and I'm going to hit the pressure cook button, guys, and I want to go for 2 minutes at high pressure. If I want to make them a little bit firmer, I can go for 1 minute or even 0 minutes, but I think it's perfect for 2 minutes. And when I'm ready to cook on the Duo Crisp, I hit the start button. Alright? Now, while the potatoes are getting a bit softened while they pressure cook, I'm going to create a bit of an amazing mixture here, okay guys? I'm going to take in 1/2 cup of heavy cream, or 1/2 and 1/2, the juice of 1/2 lemon, 1 large egg, there you go, and 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And then I'll just take a fork and I'll just mix all that together, and you'll see now we have a nice thick sauce which we're going to pour over our potatoes on our final steps when we crisp them. I'm also going to add in a teaspoon of black pepper just for good measure, and then just stir that into the mix. You don't have to add the black pepper if you don't want to, but it's going to give it some nice color, and it's a little bit of some zest, not much. Alright, and this is looking perfect. Let's set this aside. And now that we're done pressure cooking, let's perform a quick release. And our pen just dropped, so let's take our lid off. And we are looking great here, guys. And the whole purpose of pressure cooking the potatoes before we do any air crisping is that it's going to lighten them up a little bit. It's going to make them a little bit softer. Alright, now I want to take that delicious mixture I made, and I want to pour it all over everything in the pot. Really get those potatoes nice and covered. And if some are uncovered, just, you know, paste it onto the others, that's fine. And now I'm going to rest my crisping lid on top of the pot. Now I'm going to hit the cancel button. Now I want to hit the bake button, guys, and I want to go for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. I adjust my temperature on the left using these settings, the plus and the minus, and I adjust my time on the right using the plus or minus here where it says time, temp. Very simple. 10 minutes at 350 degrees. I hit start, and then it's going to take a few moments to preheat. Once it gets there, it's going to take no more than about 45 seconds. It'll start counting down for the time I set it for. And then midway through the air frying process, let's remove the lid and make sure we rest it on that nice plastic thing that it came with. And look at that, guys. After 5 minutes, it's already looking amazing. Now let's take some tongs and just kind of like mix everything up a little bit in there. Make sure that some of the other potatoes get some love and get some crisping too. Nice curdling action from the egg, which we want. Alright, we're looking good here. Now let's place our lid back on top for another 5 minutes. And now that we're done, it says end, and it's gonna take a few moments to just cool itself down, and then once it stops, I'll take the lid off. Okay, and now let's take our lid off again. Check out our delightful potatoes. And now, guys, for the finishing touch, we're going to add in some shredded cheese. I'm going to use 1 cup, and I'm using a mix between cheddar and Gouda shredded, but you can use really whatever you'd like. So I'm just gonna sprinkle this all throughout the top. If you want to, you can seep some underneath. Make sure everything kind of gets some cheese on it. As much or as little cheese as you like. I personally think 1 cup is perfect. Okay, and now let's add our lid back for a final broil. Now I want to hit the broil button. Or again, you could hit air fry, it doesn't really matter, but it's gonna automatically put me at 400 degrees here. And I want to go, guys, for 3 minutes. Hit start, and I'm gonna melt all that cheese. And alright, now that we're all done, let's take our lid off. And guys, there is our scalloped potatoes, looking beautiful and cheesy and bubbly and perfect. Alright guys, you can literally serve this directly out of the pot if you want, but I'll put it on a plate to make it look all serving ready. I'm just gonna scoop some up. Oh, look at this. Guys, look at this. Gorgeous. Put some on a plate, a little serving dish here. And it's scooping up so easily. You see at the bottom of the pot looks great. And there we have it, guys. Scalloped potatoes on a little plate here to serve it up. And I love the fact that this was all done in one device without having to transfer the potatoes. If you don't have an oven, if you live in a restricted size kitchen, or if you're camping, or we should say glamping at this point, you can make this all in one device. And look at the leftovers in there. Look at all this cheese. Layered with cheese. They're golden brown. They're gonna be creamy, ooey, gooey, soft. Perfect with a nice crispy edge texture and a nice soft melt in your mouth inner texture. Guys, scalloped potatoes have arrived right in your Instant Pot Duo Crisp. All right, let's try them out. All right, guys, here it is. My beautiful scalloped potatoes on a plate that could really feed like 4 people, but let's dig into them. Oh boy, look at all of this cheese. Can you hear my crunch? Mmm. They're amazing. What I love so much about this is the fact that you have a wonderful crispy texture on the outside with a nice soft, chewy texture inside, like melts in your mouth. And then you have that amazing sauce. I'll tell you, the lemon juice really adds so much to it with the cream, the lemon juice, the egg, and the Parmesan cheese mixture. And then of course, when you top it off with that shredded cheddar or Gouda or whatever you want, it just sends it home. This is a phenomenal dish. It's gonna be great not only for a side dish for Thanksgiving or a holiday or for any meal, but it's also gonna make an amazing breakfast dish. You'll never want like cottage fries or anything like that ever again when you got these. They're just cheesy, creamy goodness, and I can't get enough of them. And guys, you saw, it's all done in the Instant Pot. And one thing, no transferring. All you gotta do is just slice up some potatoes, which really takes no time at all. So guys, if you enjoyed these videos and these recipes, check out PressureLuckCooking.com because I have a ton of recipes there. You can easily search for them. And of course, Facebook.com/PressureLuckCooking. Like my Facebook page for any time a new recipe comes out. Deals on items, tips. You don't wanna miss any of that stuff, trust me. And of course, at Pressure Luck, you can subscribe to me on YouTube, where you're probably watching this, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. Thank you again, guys, and remember, you'll always scale up your potatoes when they're scalloped. Enjoy.